Way football is right around the corner, folks. Good evening, Tampa Bay. Welcome back. It is 6:07 on your ride home. The Drive with TKras, Tom Krasnicki. Great to have you with us. We'll take you until 7 o'clock. More of your calls and texts coming up. But, yeah, we are all excited for football, and we are all excited to introduce our next guest. He's back with us here on the Central Florida Behavioral Health Network DA Hotline. Learn more at cfbhn.org. Six-time Pro Bowler, former Buccaneer great Gerald McCoy is back with us here on The Drive, WDAE in Tampa. Gerald, Tom Krasnicki here. Welcome back to the show. How are you, man?
Well, hello, family. How are we doing this evening? How are we doing, man?
Doing great, man. How are you? How's the family? I know you got a big football camp coming up, right?
Yeah, I got a football camp. I'm actually in Oklahoma currently. I came there a couple days early to make sure everything's in line. I just picked up all these boxes, and, you know, a lot of people get teams to work for them, and they get staff, and that's all cool. I like to, you know, get my hands dirty. So I got to go over to the stadium and set up some tents and put out all these cones and bag up all these groceries and do all that. I got a lot I'm doing, but I'm excited to talk to you guys. So, football camp is going to be great. It's this Saturday, and I can't wait to get it going.
Well, that's awesome, and we appreciate what you're doing for the kids out there, and we appreciate you for joining us here. And you heard that highlight of you getting your hands on Matty Ice, who's going into the Ring of Honor. When the Buccaneers go there on that Thursday night, that should be pretty special.
Yeah, of course, man. The thing about Matt Ryan is I think I might be one of his only opponents that actually calls him Matty Ice, you know, because he's Matt Ryan to most people, you know, because they're his opponents. But I'm a big fan of Matt Ryan, and, you know, I always said when we were playing him, he was one of those quarterbacks who were flammable. You know, if you get him going and he get a little bit of spark, he'll kill you. And I think we all got to see him at his peak in 2016 when he won the MVP. You know, everybody's going to remember him for what everybody calls the meltdown in the Super Bowl. But, you know, I don't want that to take away from the great career he had. You can argue he's the greatest Falcon of all time, him and Julio Jones in my eyes. And, you know, it was a pleasure to play against him. So I'm excited, you know, that they're doing that for him. And the way they went about it, man, two of my favorite people in this business, Matt Ryan and Raheem Morris, like, I love both of those guys. So for them to share together, it was very important to me because I played for one and got to compete against the other one, so it was great to see.
Well, I'm glad you talked about Raheem Morris because I was going to ask you about the Bucs and the Falcons. The Falcons get Kirk Cousins. Do you feel like the Falcons have closed the gap? I think I heard you talking about this on the NFL Network. You're doing a good job there as an analyst. So can the Falcons overtake the Bucs in the NFC South this season?
Hey, listen, unless somebody, you know, got bad teeth and Kirk Cousins is some miraculous dentist, that's the only way they closing gaps on us. That's it. I don't know what people are thinking because Kirk Cousins shows up, all of a sudden we supposed to be scared. So, y'all know me. I was like this when I was on the team. I'm like this on NFL Network. This is the real me. I don't change. I don't care that Raheem Morris is there. I texted him and told him congratulations. One of my closest friends in this world is Jacquez Smith. He played for Tampa. He's a outside linebackers coach there. I don't care who I know that's at the Falcons organization. You think that I'm going to get on here and say that they closing the gap on us? No, 4 in a row. 4 in a row. That's us winning the NFC South. I don't care about a Falcon. I don't care about a Panther. I don't care about a Saint. I don't care about a Christian. I don't care about any other type of cat that's an animal. I don't care about no type of bird. I don't care about none of that. The Buccaneers, and that's all that matters. Ain't nobody closing no gap on us. Okay, so if they got better, what did we do? They couldn't see us before, and we brought back a team with essentially the same guys, added some key pieces, and they're more comfortable and know each other even more and got something to prove. And I'm supposed to be scared of Falcons? Please.
I love it. Former Buccaneer great Gerald McCoy, NFL Network analyst, is with me here on The Drive. So let's talk about your guy. I know you love Baker Mayfield, fellow Oklahoma Sooner, big year last year, a new offense now with Liam Cohen coming in, Gerald. So can Baker Mayfield do it 2 years in a row?
Why do y'all always do this? Okay, y'all know how I ride for anybody that I love. And Baker went to a school that I love, so he's a part of my family. And y'all seen how I do with people who disrespect the Bucs. Anybody who disrespect the Sooner, this is just who I am. Can Baker do it 2 years in a row? What do you expect me to say? Obviously, I believe he can. See, here's the thing. When you get in a relationship, a real relationship, man and woman, woman, man, it don't matter. I don't care what it is. When you get in a relationship, you get more comfortable when you're with somebody that you know wants you there. They enjoy your company. They love what you bring to them, and you don't have to worry about whether they really want you there or want you in their presence. You become more comfortable with them, and you work 10 times harder to make them happy. The Buccaneers faithful, the organization, the players, the fans, the city, they were a little skeptical at first about Baker and what we were getting, but they welcomed him with open arms, and then Baker showed everybody who he was. Then the Buccaneers faithful said, bring Baker back. We want him back. And the team obliged. They brought him back, gave him an extension, and now Baker is comfortable and knows he's somewhere that he is wanted. I talked to Baker personally when I was in Tampa a couple weeks ago. He said there's no better feeling than being somewhere where you know you're wanted. So when you're around somebody that you know actually wants you there and loves that you're around, you're going to work 10 times harder to make them happy. If Baker Mayfield already operates with a chip on his shoulder, imagine what he's going to do to not disappoint the Buccaneers faithful. Yes, Baker can do it 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. Yes, he can.
Gerald McCoy is with us. I know you love about the next guy I'm about to ask you, and that's Lavonte David. At the age of 34, he's coming off one of his best years of his career, and I know you're in constant contact with the guy whom you affectionately call the Flash because you're a big comic book guy. So what makes Lavonte so great at what he's doing for as long as he's doing it?
Oh, well, say the thing about him is from the time he stepped into the league, it's very rare that you're not the smartest guy in the room. The only time I think maybe he's been in a room with somebody who knew more about football than him is when number 12 walked through that door, and obviously he's the GOAT. So, I mean, you can't really feel bad about that guy being better than you at anything when it comes to football. But other than that, I don't think he's ever been in a room since he's been in the league where don't know the most about what's about to happen on this field. So when you carry that type of superpower on top of God-given ability to be able to move, go sideline to sideline, he takes care of his body, he eats right, and he's just a natural-born winner, I mean, it's hard to stop somebody like that. And the thing about Tay is he just wants to win. He don't care about nothing else. All he wants to do is be his best for his teammates, for his city, for his team. And that's carried him throughout his entire career, but he has a superpower that is rare to see. I played with another guy like that, and Luke Kuechly. He had that same superpower. So when you got that superpower where you know what's going to happen before it happens, you can lose a little athleticism. You can lose a little speed. You can lose, a little bit of mobility because you put yourself in proper situations to be able to make these plays. He plays with the technique of whoever you want to say is the greatest linebacker of all time. He plays with that technique, but not only that, he knows what's going to happen before it happens. And that's a superpower that most people don't possess, but he's one of them, and it's carried him this far into his career.
Gerald McCoy is with us here on The Drive. One day, Lavonte David will be in the Buccaneer Ring of Honor, and I believe one day, Gerald McCoy, you will be in the Buccaneer Ring of Honor. I think you feel that way as well. So let me ask you this. Have the Buccaneers reached out to you about that said honor yet?
No, they haven't. And, as much as I would love that, I can't say that I feel like I'll be there. I don't know. What I can say is, regardless of whether I get in there or not, it's a crime to me for anybody to ever question whether Gerald gave us everything he had while he was here. When I got drafted to be a Buccaneer, it was a dream come true. I grew up a Bucs fan as a kid. My favorite player was Warren Sapp. When I played on Madden, I played with the Bucs. Everything was about the Buccaneers. So when I got drafted there, my only goal was to bring the city a championship. My only goal was to give them the best version of myself that I could, man. I didn't take time off in the off season. I worked out nonstop, which probably led to a bunch of my injuries because I never took time off. I didn't take breaks. Anybody who knows me knows I didn't take breaks. I was always in the building. If I wasn't there, I was in California training on my honeymoon, on all my anniversaries. I'm always working out. Like all I did was give that city everything I had. That's why you can watch Hard Knocks and see why is Gerald, who's been here all these years, carrying rookies' helmets, carrying all these teammates' helmets. Why is he going in after a long training camp practice, sitting in the stands with fans, signing until everybody's gone? Win, lose, or draw, after the game, when Gerald walks out, you know he's going to sign autographs. Like, I truly love that team and that city. I gave it everything I had, literally until I had no more. You know, I even tried to, the little bit I had left with my knees and my body, I tried to come back to Tampa. The little last bit I had, I tried to give it to Tampa because I love that city, and all I ever wanted was success for that city. So them winning the Super Bowl, I felt like I won it. That's why I wanted them to FaceTime me, because it meant that much to me. So the Ring of Honor, because of everything I gave to that city, would be incredible. I can't sit here and say, oh, I'm for certain that I'll get in or I should be in or whatever. You know, like my mindset has changed a lot since the back and forth or whatever y'all want to call it we had since the number debacle. My mindset, I've matured a lot more. I've grown up a lot more. The way I view life and things have changed a lot. So I wouldn't be right. I would be faking to sit here and say that I truly feel like they should put me in there. No, I don't feel that way anymore. You know, I gave the city everything I had. I gave the team everything I had. And I pray that people, when they think of me, that's what they think of more than just what I did on the field. That dude gave us everything he had on and off the field. So that's my spiel on it.
Well, I think everybody around here feels that way. I think the city feels this way. I think a lot of the Buccaneer fans, most, if not all of them, feel that way. The few that don't, I'm not sure where they're coming from. But that's got to mean something to you for one day to be in the Buccaneer Ring of Honor. Surely you've thought about it.
Yeah, of course I've thought about it. Shoot, I was sitting here one day, and I'm weird like this. I always think ahead. One day I started, like, writing down what I would say if it ever happened and, you know, thinking about how I would react if it ever happened, man, because we work our entire lives, man. I'm in Oklahoma City right now. I'm literally 10 minutes from the house I grew up in, the house I was living in when I was getting recruited to go to college in a city where you don't see. When you think Oklahoma City, you can't name 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys that come from here of anything. Actors, rappers, athletes. You think of these people, you don't think of Oklahoma City. So for me to have the career I had, it's rare to come from my city and do that. So to know all the work I put in, as hard as I worked my entire life to just make it to the NFL, to be immortalized in an organization at the highest level, like, of course I've thought about that. That's what I worked for. Why put in all this work if when you're done, people won't remember you? That's why I did that's why I worked the way I worked. So yes, I've thought about it. It would be a dream come true to be a Buccaneer for life. That's why I felt the way I felt when my number was given away, because I'm thinking I gave this team and city everything I had, and it just felt like they just, well, okay, whatever, next man in. And it's like, for 10 years, I gave y'all everything I had. I represented y'all. I felt the best way I could. And every time I went to the Pro Bowl, when I went to all these different events, I represented the Bucs. And when people would talk bad about us, I defended my teammates. I defended my coaches. I would take on fans. I took on the criticism, because if I was going to be the face, that is what comes with it, and I can handle that. So when I did all that I did and it felt like I kind of just got thrown by the wayside, it was like, dang, what was it for? But that was immature Gerald, you know, thinking a certain way. But now how I feel, I don't care about none of that. I'm good with the Glazers. I'm good with Jason Light. I'm good with Tampa. I'm good with the city. Y'all can call me whenever, wherever. If it involves the Bucs, I'm there. Because that city changed my life forever, and I'm forever indebted to that city, and I love that team and that city. So, yes, I have thought about it over and over and over again.
Here's my advice to you, Gerald. I would start crafting your speech on what you might say because you're getting in one day. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
That'd be great.
It's going to happen maybe sooner than you think. So I would do that if I were you, and I think you're in. I don't think there's any debate on that whatsoever from the people I've talked to.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And I just, that's just how I always been, man. That's how I am with OU. People see me on Twitter. Y'all see how I am with people. Anybody that is associated with me and I consider you family or what, that's just how I am. I will take on the world for anybody I care about. That's why in 2015, I got in the media and said, if there's any way NFL, you could take this accolade of the Pro Bowl away from me and give it to Levante, do it. I will give up my spot in the Pro Bowl and give it to Levante because I felt that strongly about the season he had, and I felt that way about my family, my teammates. I'm always been like that. So that's why I say I don't care how many Hall of Famers that the Buccaneers have. They will not find a representative of the Bucs stronger than me because I'll take on anybody and whoever, however, how many people to defend the Buccaneers. They changed my life. I'm from Oklahoma City. We don't make it out. And the Buccaneers gave me opportunity to live out a dream. So this is how I am. I'm always going to be this way.
Well, you wrote yourself a great chapter and a great story here, and I think there's one more chapter left to be written, and I think that will be coming very soon for you, Gerald. I appreciate a few minutes. Good luck with your camp. You have any parting words to Buccaneer Nation? A lot of Buccaneer fans are listening to you right now.
Man, forget the Falcons, forget the Saints. Panthers gave me a year, but forget them too. When it comes to the Buccaneers, just forget everybody. Baker Mayfield is bringing the energy. Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Famer in my eyes. I think Levante David is a Hall of Famer.
You better believe
you got
that.
Chris Godwin, who's coming back. You got Vita, who came in amazing shape. Kalijah's going to take the next step. Man, this team, we brought back Danny. Listen. Buccaneers faithful. Don't worry about it. I don't care. I told them last year on NFL Network I will not pick against the Bucs all season, and they thought I was lying. Oh, everybody says that when they come here for the first time, and we'll see by mid-season. We'll see. Did I change my mind? Nope. Stood 10 toes down. I stood on business. I told them that we were going to we were going to make the playoffs. We were going to play Philly, and we were going to beat them, and that's exactly what happened. Listen, Buccaneers, I got us. Don't worry. I will represent us properly. I don't win, lose, or draw. I got us. Y'all prepare for a phenomenal season. I've talked to these guys. I've looked them in their eyes. They are preparing properly. We will win this division, and we are going to shock the world. Just stay tuned. Love everybody.
We love it, Gerald. Thanks a lot for joining us. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. That's Gerald